This is the Larson residence at 21758 Mountsfield Drive on Lookout Mountain. As you can see, there's tons of different kinds of solar panels on this house. And let's go up there and get a tour of this house and see what those features and other features are of this solar-powered home. So now I'm standing in the driveway of 21758 Mountsfield, and here is Ron Larson, who with his wife Gretchen own this house, and he's standing proudly in front of his Chevy Volt and Honda Insight, which are wonderful cars. I know, I have a Chevy Volt myself. Ron, take us on a tour of your house and tell us about its solar features.
Sure, Jim. Good to welcome you to our house. The main thing that we're going to talk about, I think, is the so-called Solar Decathlon house, a 2002 house, which is on that side. And I know that you've gotten pictures from the other side of the house, the south side of the house. But what you can see on the top right is the domestic hot water heater, and that came with the house. The entire Decathlon house took 3 long trips. It went to Washington, D.C. in 2002, came back, I think, about 2 or 3 months later, and then it came to us in 2005.
So we call it a house, but right now it's an addition to your house.
Or we could say that's the main house, because it's the oldest house.
Oh, this is an addition to it.
And yes, we think of ours as an addition to it.
Okay.
And it was somewhat controversial, difficult to figure out how to convert it to a part of a house. Jim, there are 5 big panels up there of 18 tubes for my solar wintertime heating. So it's collecting right now, putting water into a big tank. It's a 60-foot long tank, 8 feet deep, 5 feet across, 10,000 gallons. And so we're going to walk on top of that into the house. Jim, this is the original back door for the CU Decathlon house, and so we didn't want this as we enter our into our bedroom, and so we are recycling it here. We decided to use this as a doorbell.
Solar powered from you.
From me.
Okay.
Jim, the house was one of 14 entries into a competition on the mall in Washington, D.C. We're very proud of the fact that the house took first place. Of these 14 entries, the first, and there have since been 3 more Solar Decathlon house competitions. So this is the way it's sat on the mall. A lot of it's the same. It's a little bit of change here. The back door we just came from there.
Why did they use the term decathlon?
Jim, the reason was they had 10 different competitions. They had to keep the house comfortable, the right kind of air conditioning. They had to have water for all the things we have use for with the without water, showers, the toilet functions, everything about the house had to be a livable house. So we're now in most of the original house, and the house came apart in 7 pieces. Maybe you can see here that those would be different pieces, and the top came off in several pieces also. It went on 3 large semi-trucks. At that time, this was the kitchen. When we get downstairs, we'll show you that. Over on this side, there was kind of a computer room. There was a dining room table right where we're sitting. We've added these two closets.
Okay.
And in the back, a bathroom and a small bedroom. So it was rather difficult to figure out how to configure things. We eventually decided we'd make this more or less 60-70% of their total house, we'd make into just a bedroom.
What's the function of this balcony up here?
Yeah, I think they did it for aesthetic reasons, but they also did it for strengthening. They had three
Oh,
big
okay.
modules. These modules are 16 feet by 10 feet.
Okay, show us the rest of it. Or is there more to show back there?
But I think it's easier
Oh,
to
okay.
show you downstairs.
Okay, good.
Because we replicated everything
Okay.
downstairs.
Okay, while we're here, let's introduce Gretchen, your wife. Okay, take us downstairs and show us what you want to show
And
us.
I hope Gretchen will come too, because much of the house had to be reconfigured to be a pottery studio, so we want you to see that also.
Oh, okay. That's your thing, pottery, Gretchen?
Yeah, that's my thing. But it's pretty messy. Run.
Okay. So here's the real new kitchen.
It's the new kitchen, new cabinetry,
Yeah.
but all of the Decathlon equipment, so the refrigerator, the oven,
Oh,
the
okay.
dishwasher, were all parts of the Decathlon.
Oh, they were just in that room.
And
Okay.
they're in the other room.
The
Okay.
table,
Good. Okay.
chairs.
I see you have a wood burning stove
That-
over there.
We have no gas coming into the house, so I think there'd be very few houses on the tour that are working only on wood stoves and radiant floor heating. We have 6 zones of radiant floor.
Oh, okay, great. And heated from that hot water that's stored in that.
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Okay, so where are we going now?
We had an architect for the house, but the one thing that I designed more than any other part of the house, of course I think I was the main influence in where things went, was this stairway. And I'm quite proud of the fact that I've never seen one like it, and it's worked out very well. Each of these are almost 3 stories, and simply bolted together. And we're striving for a very open look, and I've never seen that in any other house.
Okay.
Another feature, Jim, is that we have 10-inch walls. They're 2x4s and 2x6s, staggered. And so we wanted a lot of space to display our African masks. And so periodically we just inset so that we could get a shelf.
Okay.
So that part of the house is exactly the same as the original CU Decathlon house. We originally laid it out so that'd be a separate room, and Gretchen decided she'd rather have it stay very open. So we have a very big downstairs.
That's a basement for the Decathlon house, but the Decathlon house is sitting on a basement. It didn't have a basement on the mall.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
It had small pedestals, a lot of, many dozens of small pedestals.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So what do you want to show us down here?
I think we might just take a quick look at my wife's
Oh, I see you have another wood-burning stove here.
stove here.
Yeah, okay. And radiant floor heating under this tile?
Right, that's a zone, we're standing in a
Okay.
zone.
This is the pottery room?
And a big part of the decision was to make a space this large because the previous house had that. Your viewers will appreciate the fact that her pots only have faces.
Oh, okay.
So that far room has 2 electric kettles that take quite a bit of power. She stores things here. This is designed to later be his and her closets.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This is by far the largest bathroom in the house.
Okay. Now, despite the power that's taken by the kilns, you have is this a net zero energy consumer, this house?
We're close. It's less so now that we're charging the volt.
Oh, yeah. What do you figure how many kilowatt hours per month are you charging your volt?
Gee, that's a good question. With a total of, we've had the car about 7 months, almost 7,000 miles, so it's 1,000 miles, and we're getting divided.
Well, the most you can charge it each night is about 10 kilowatt hours, right? Isn't that what it holds?
Right.
So
And
really,
we're doing a lot of that.
so 30 days times 10, 300 kilowatt hours a month probably. And
It's a
then,
number like that.
yeah, okay.
So Jim, this is the exact way that the students had laid out their kitchen. There was a refrigerator over there. And this, upstairs, you may have noticed a large sliding door there. This door was recycled from upstairs. We have a stationary panel. That's the original Decathlon.
Okay. So, any other energy-related things in here?
Let's take a look in here, Jim.
Okay.
This is one of the more complicated equipment rooms you'll see.
Okay. Yeah, it does look pretty complicated.
People would have seen outside that we had domestic hot water. That comes into this tank, which used to be outside. And so we have a pump and control system just for it. And we have a separate pump that's working right now. We're getting water coming back at 160 degrees. And
Right. So that's the temperature on the panels. You have solar thermal panels.
that's right.
And what's the temperature in the tank itself? You press one of those
At
buttons.
the moment, it's about 70, but I'm intentionally keeping the temperature down now. So
Oh, okay.
I'm running it at night
Okay.
because that'll go up over
But
200.
But you're not using any of this energy this summer, right?
That's right.
So,
It's supposed to be annual cycle.
so do you actually find that the heat that you're heating, that how many gallons of hot water?
10,000.
10,000 gallons, that you actually have heat that was created during the summertime that's used in the winter?
For sure. Yeah.
Really? Okay. So the summertime.
But it's still, 10,000 is not enough. We're going to add some more indoor movable insulation.
Okay. Okay. So anything else you'd like to tell us about the house?
Well, we might just look in this case at the way the original student worked. So they had to demonstrate a bedroom. This was the bedroom. There's a slight closet back there. This was the bathroom, almost identical to the way the student.
And turn on the light.
Lights behind the door.
Oh. Okay.
So,
Anything special about this that's not in a...
yeah, maybe special is my wife collects frogs.
Oh, okay. But otherwise, there's standard toilet and shower and stuff like that. Okay, fine. Anything else you want to tell us about it? Or is that about wrap it up?
I think that wraps it up.
Okay, and I see you have a hot tub out there. That's heated electrically, of course.
It's intended to be solar, and we're in the process of changing it over.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
will be solar.
Okay, well, thank you for the tour of your house.
Jim, thank you very much. Jim, before you leave, I think we should look upstairs. And we're now on the 3rd floor, and this is an unheated area, and we were able to get a little greenhouse space. We favor orchids, but I think people would enjoy seeing the solar units up close.
Okay.
So Jim, it's a little difficult,
Okay.
but just say that we've got 60 panels like this. Each one is a little bit more than 100 watts.
They seem smaller than normal solar panels.
Yeah, these were purchased in 2001. It came from a company that eventually became General Electric.
Okay.
They were high efficiency at the time.
How many kilowatts of that do you have?
It's nominally 7, but I think it's better to call it 6.
Okay.
And this is one of the panels. It's driving a small freezer in the garage,
Oh.
one by itself.
Oh, okay.
Then we added 4 panels, determined they were not enough, and then we added these 5 panels.
Let me come over there so we can see the face of these. These are tubular panels for heating water.
Right, and there's a small reflector behind them.
Yeah.
They're called a compound parabolic. And so there are 18 tubes. There's 6 groups of 3 in a series of parallel. So they're fairly unusual, and they provide a lot of heat.
Okay, and that's heating water,
That's heating water.
which is going into that 10,000 gallon tank.
With glycol.
Okay, it's a heat transfer process,
Right,
because of course you don't want water up here where it could freeze.
exactly.
So, okay, great. Anything else you'd like to say before we call it a day?
No, I'm glad we got back up here. Jim,
Okay,
thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.